Today, JTV is brought to you by Amy's Orchids. When you expect the finest orchids, Amy's delivers.
This week on JTV, we've turned down the lights to show you this beautiful illuminated orchid centerpiece, thanks to the gorgeous orchids from Amy's Orchids. So let's get started with this week's special event centerpiece. It's an illuminated centerpiece that's actually going to cause interest below the vase and above the vase as a table centerpiece. It features Amy's Orchids too, and you know I'm crazy about those orchids. They're the prettiest orchids on earth. Amy raises orchids in Thailand, and they're absolutely gorgeous. This week, we're featuring the blue-dyed Bombay orchids. I love that because they're color enhanced, and because this orchid is actually pink and white to start with, the blue cast turns purple and gives us a wonderful teal colors as well. So it's going to be perfect for the arrangement that we're going to create. So a key ingredient for this is kiwi vine. Many of you are familiar with kiwi vine. It looks like curly willow, only it's a little more contorted and it's a little heavier. So it has nice thick curls in it and it's more stable. I think it looks more tropical too, so it goes very well with the orchids that we're going to use and also with some of Amy's beautiful foliages. So with these, we're going to be creating pieces that actually look like this, where we have orchids attached to acolytes. And the acolytes are attached to the kiwi vine. We've also woven beaded wire and other decorative wires through that. And we're going to have that in the bottom of our container and also in the top. So I'll show you how we construct a piece that looks like that. Today, we're going to be using the new U-glue dashes that are available from Oasis. They come in a roll like this, and they're a little tiny square. They peel off, and the U-glue square is attached to the back side. Then, we've placed those directly onto the kiwi vine. We've got one there, we have one up here, we've got one back here. So the first thing that we do is remove that paper. Now it's very sticky, so it's already stuck to the kiwi vine. And then we're going to attach our acolyte. These are the acolyte floralites. This is actually their acolyte floralite 2. It has a little on-off switch. It's the little tab back here. But they also make ones that have pull tabs. You're familiar with these products. That's what those guys look like. So this one turns on and off with a switch. The other one turns on and off by pulling the piece of paper. This one's permanently on. This one can be turned on and off. They also have a logo on the back side. So to prevent those from showing, we're taking that and we're going to stick that logoed area directly onto the U-glue itself. We're also using 3 colors. We've got the teal, the purple, and the blue. And so that one fits there. Now we'll also use the U-glue to attach our orchids to the acolyte floralites. So we're peeling those pieces off and placing them right on the back side of the floralite. Now for years, we'd use Smithers Oasis cold adhesive to glue these to that, and also glue the orchids to the floralites. It's a little bit of a messy process, and at the same time, it takes a while to dry. This makes it much faster and a lot less messy. So then we remove that piece of paper from the U-glue, and we'll attach our orchid. We cut the stem off of the orchid flush right on the back. And then place that directly onto the U-glue. It's nice and secure. It's not going to come off. No problems. Really simple. remove the stem and apply the orchid. Paper off, stem gone, and attach the orchid. So then our next step is to add some wire to this and the beaded wire. Beaded wire is a brand new product, again from Oasis, and it's a great product. It looks like you spent a whole lot of time creating beautiful beaded wire. It comes in a wide variety of colors too. So it's perfect for just about any project you'd want to create. We'll cut off a section of this. We'll take the wire itself that's attached to that and conceal it back here behind the orchid, just wrapping it around the stem of the kiwi vine. That way it's nice and secure. Then we'll gently wrap this around, leaving it nice and loose so that it creates some interest. Then we can finish that off and just tie it into place again. It's got great tensile strength, so it's going to look really good. I've got some other wire too from Parawire in a great color as well. I just want to add that randomly here too. So I'm just going to wrap it around. Have it loop over, go around the kiwi vine. I don't want it to be too deliberate. I want it to be a little more casual. If I try and make it too deliberate, it's going to look a little bit contrived, and I don't want that. So that's a great piece too. I've created this piece to fit down inside the vase itself. So we're going to feed the wire and the orchids down inside that container. I tested this 2 or 3 times before I put it in. So I was adding my flowers, knowing that everybody was going to go down inside there. We're going to want to have this sit flat on top. So then I'm going to cut off just this one piece of kiwi vine. So everyone's contained inside there. Look at how great that's going to look when people are sitting at the table. Looks good from all sides. All of those different textures down inside the container itself. We're actually going to use a sphere of foam on top. But as I create this, I know that I'm going to have water overflow. So I'm going to grab some paper towels. And I'll just fold up a square and place that underneath here on an inverted tray. That can sit on top of here, and I can arrange accordingly. It's going to allow me to know where it's going to sit exactly in place, but also makes a great opportunity for me to transport the top separately from the rest of the container. Plus, all that water isn't going to drip down inside here. The tray is going to prevent it from going inside. So now we'll be able to go ahead and add our kiwi vines. I've created several different shapes, so I'm going to go ahead and add some wire to these, and then we'll put them all into the arrangement itself. Another great product is the new 6-gauge wire that's available from Oasis. This comes in a great teal color. The thing I like about it too is that it starts to look a lot like the kiwi vine. And so we can add that as another design element inside our arrangement as well. We'll just insert that in this side, bring that up and over, bring those 2 points together. This really retains its shape very well, so it's a great design element to have inside the arrangement itself. One more new wire too is the new flat wire that's available from Oasis. I like it too because again, the texture is so different. It's really, really light. So my next step is Amy's Beautiful Foliage. This is an emerald leaf philodendron. I like it because it has that wonderful lavender red tones on the back, and it's going to tie in great to the Bombay orchids we've used. We're going to use that first to conceal a whole bunch of our foam. These are nice, big, sturdy leaves. I'm going to sneak up behind that kiwi vine. Our next addition is going to be the Bombay dyed orchids that we used before. You'll notice that I've removed some of the larger orchids, and those were the ones we used throughout the entire arrangement. We're going to go ahead and add those throughout, letting those extend out toward the outside. The blue Bombay orchids from Amy's Orchids are systemically dyed. So the dye actually goes up the inside of the stem and colors the orchids from the inside. It's a great way to get that unique coloration through the entire stem and the entire flower. Our next placements are a real treat. These are Vanda orchids that are available from Amy's. They're a unique coloration, and you can't order them by name or number yet. Amy's trying to get production to a specific level. But what you can do is request different color ranges. I asked for purples and yellows and greens. This was one of the ones that I got. It's a gorgeous coloration for this arrangement. And these guys fill in wonderfully. My last flower placement is going to be Vanda Blue Orchids. Amy has made these famous. She's one of the top producers of Vanda Blue Orchids in the entire world. And these are a unique color just to her. I love those because people look at these and it takes their breath away. Now it's time for some ribbon. I got some great tints and tones and shades of the same blues that we're using for my Reliant ribbon source. Now to make sure I get these exactly where I want, I'm going to take it down off the top of the vase. We'll take the strips of ribbon, taking our stick, we insert them directly into the foam. This way I can go back through and feed that ribbon exactly where I want it to be. I'm filling in all of those spots where I have a little bit of foam showing. Just looping it around and inserting it right into the foam allows it to go in the perfect spot. My final step is to add ostrich feathers. These teal ones were the inspiration for the entire arrangement. They're very delicate though, and I don't want them to get wet. So I'm going to use my Kreisel Professional Glory first. Making sure that I coat my orchids. Then we'll tuck those in. It's such an unusual texture. It adds that wonderful special event feel to our centerpiece. It was quite a bit of water that was displaced. Actually, look at that. If that was all inside the vase, it would have been a huge mess for us. So planning ahead helped us ensure that's not there. Our vase is still completely dry. Our sphere sits up on top. We can make any minor adjustments we want to now. I'll loop this ribbon up and have it hanging over our kiwi vine. It's a pretty impressive special event piece. Let's turn down the lights and take a look at this baby. So how about that? An exquisite orchid centerpiece for your next special event. All thanks to the beautiful orchids from Amy's Orchids. All the way from Thailand to your table. Until next week, keep having fun with flowers.